tonight. Join us for a nostalgic look back at America's favorite 50s family, the Cunninghams, and the exciting adventures of the coolest guy in the history of television, the one and only the Fonz. You'll relive the memorable friendships.
Sit on it, Posse.
The sweet and tender romances.
You want to dance first or go right on to the heavy stuff? You want a broken nose first or go right on to the hospital?
And all the incredible barrel-leaping, bull-riding, shark-jumping action.
Shark? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
We'll show you some never-before-seen bloopers.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Our favorite practical jokes. Henry Winkler's personal home movies. And for the first time on television, the Happy Days cast reunites for a 30th anniversary softball game.
Those guys aren't athletes, they're actors.
Plus, we'll all get together at Arnold's for a post-game celebration with some very special surprise guests. All this and more on the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. These days are ours. Happy days. These days are ours. These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
Welcome to the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion.
We are actually standing in front of the original Cunningham house.
Oh, Tom, it's so hard to believe that we moved in 30 years ago.
It sure is, Marion.
We may have left this house, but it never left us.
There's so many wonderful memories the cast has shared through the years.
And since all of you were such a big part of the Happy Days family and our success, we would like to share these memories with you.
Come on, Marion. Let's go share some of those incredible years. Huh?
Oh, Tom, they changed my favorite curtains.
What do you think about his sex?
Yeah, so do you.
I know. Do you think maybe there's something wrong with us?
Yeah.
We decided we would do a nostalgic series about the 1950s, and we would set it in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Tom Millis and Eddie Milkus were the producers, and Tom Millis said, if we do a TV series that takes place in another era, when it goes into reruns, it won't look old. It made a lot of sense to me. Reruns that look the same as the original. What a concept.
I wasn't sure I wanted to be on another television series, because I'd been on the Andy Griffith Show from 1960 to 1968. But I liked the script, I liked the show, I liked the part.
It's pretty hard to be 16 and growing up. Maybe it was easier when my parents were young, but now it's the 1950s and the world's really getting complicated. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a great family. My father's in the hardware business. My mom does volunteer work for the Red Cross. And my brother goes to college. And my sister wants to go to an orthodontist. Today's a big day. We're going to be the first family on the block to get a television set.
Anson was in it, Marion Ross was in it, and otherwise the cast was different set of characters and a different tone. Actually, a little more inspired by a popular movie of the moment, which was Summer of '42.
I bet you invite Arlene Estrock over some night.
She is stacked, but not very bright.
You gonna kiss her mind? Who talks when they neck? You don't know anything.
You looking for a knuckle sandwich?
Watch her or I'll punch you out.
Harold Gould was the husband. We had a different little girl.
And the Fonzie character wasn't in it, the Ralphie character wasn't in it.
Richard seems upset about something. Maybe you should go in and talk to him.
As soon as this is over.
We did the show. I enjoyed doing it. It didn't sell.
We thought it was great. They said, who cares? We don't like it. New family in town, boring. 50s, out. They never wasted anything in those days. The original Happy Days went on Love American Style.
Love American style, truer than the red, white, and blue. Love American style, that's me and you.
I guess this is good night, then.
Uh-huh. I had a nice time anyway.
Who is it?
Oh,
That's me. I'm with Richard.
Stand over here and I'll stand on the other side. I guess this is good night now.
And that was the end of that. But if one waits long enough, ideas come around. George Lucas is making a movie called American Graffiti. They say Ron Howard could play 50s. Don't you have film on that? I said, yeah, I shot up the pilot. Ron Howard is playing in the 50s. George Lucas looked at the pilot, they hired Ron Howard.
American Graffiti takes place in 1962, but it's really all about the end of the 50s. And American Graffiti was just an amazing surprise hit. It just played and played and played.
A wonderful show on Broadway called Grease, and suddenly the geniuses in television said, all these 50 things, don't we have one of these on the shelf? They said, Gary, where is that thing? And out I brought it, and they say, well, not quite good enough, but let's remake it.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're going to rock around the clock tonight. Hey, glad join me, hon.
My friend lied to everybody about a girl.
Oh, well, it's obvious that the lie is bothering him, and he ought to go back and tell the truth.
To everybody? I mean, even Fonzie?
What's a Fonzie?
What Michael Eisner and Tom Miller wanted was a gang, because there was a gang in American Graffiti. They wanted this mean gang. And I didn't have room for a gang, so I kind of said, I'll give you one guy who's a gang himself.
Hey, have you seen Potsy around? Oh, great. Thanks a lot. I'll see you, Fonzie.
I made a promise to myself I would never comb my hair. I would never wear a Garrison belt. I would never have, like, cigarettes or anything in my sleeve, and I would never chew gum. Because every actor who played that kind of character did that. The director said to me, it says here, you got to go to the mirror and comb your hair. I said, oh, please, don't make me do that. Please, I made a promise that I would never comb my hair. He said, I'm so sorry, you've got to. And I thought, oh my Lord, what am I going to do? I resigned myself, I walked up to the mirror, I took out the comb, and I went, whoa, I don't have to because it's perfect. And I was being true to myself, and I was being respectful to what was written, and the Fonz was born in that moment. Hey, baby, baby, ba, 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 ba.
Draft in here?
No. That was me blowing in your ear.
Richie was Ron. He really was Ron. We saw his first date, his first gambling experience, his first drinking experience.
All we had was some beer and teeny-weeny glasses.
How many teeny-weeny glasses did you have?
72.
I think it's time for some teeny-weeny cups of coffee.
It was my coming-of-age story. The irony was, in my life and in the lives of Donnie and Anson and Henry, we were sort of undergoing that.
How far'd you get?
All I'm saying is Mary Lou's a nice girl.
You didn't get very far.
Lay off, Potsy, will you?
Okay.
In the early years of the show, Richie and Potsy were more the focus, and Fonzie and I were sort of peripheral characters.
Doesn't look like a hickey.
Of course it doesn't look like a hickey. You can't walk around with teeth marks on your neck. Suppose your old man sees them.
Joni in the beginning years didn't have much. It was a bleep in and out, and smart aleck remarks.
Here's your nickel. What's the secret?
You got home at 2 o'clock last night.
That's no secret.
It is to Dad.
You're cruising for a bruising, kid.
Oh, yeah? You'd have to catch me first.
Gary Marshall learned what we could do, and the writers wrote for us.
Richie, don't you find it a little hard steering this way?
Hey, we have nice seats. Isn't that great?
Here we were getting a 70s look at a 50s family.
What do you plan to do when you get out of school?
Well, I was thinking I might become a cop. I mean, it's the only job I know where they pay you to drive a motorcycle.
We thought we had come up with this great character called Fonzie. And what happened was the network suddenly said, we don't like this Fonzie character.
Fonzie's a hood.
Dear, I don't like to hear you talk like that.
He drives a motorcycle, and motorcycle drivers are hoods.
The network didn't want him in a leather jacket because that leather jacket implied all that tough world. So he was in a little gabardine windbreaker. It's a wonder they didn't have a bunch of little pencils there.
So I wrote a letter to the network saying, here's what we'll do. Only when he rides the motorcycle, he'll have a leather jacket.
Fonzie's not so bad. He's probably got a good heart underneath all that leather.
Fonzie got his jacket back, and then I wrote another memo. Writers, never, ever in any scene let Fonzie be without his motorcycle.
All right, guys, kickstand me. Right, Fonz. Kickstand. Up, up. All right.
The windbreaker that Fonzie wore, I threw in a dumpster on the Paramount lot. The leather jacket he wore is in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, and that's absolutely true.
The Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion returns with more great clips and a look at our hilarious blooper reel.
The fun's just beginning. No milk and cookies if you wander off.
Happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days. Yours and mine. Happy days.
You know, Marion, Happy Days really was a big hit, but it took some adjustments to really make the show fly.
You know, a big change was taping in front of a live audience.
Originally, the show was conceived as a single-camera comedy. MASH was a single-camera comedy. The Andy Griffith Show had been a single-camera comedy. I was very, very comfortable with that.
We loved it because it was like making a movie, and you can do a very subtle kind of acting in one camera.
Fonzie.
The show was not doing very well. So we were going to take one last chance, and that was doing it in front of a live audience.
There was a certain challenge and excitement to doing it in front of an audience. It's a little bit more like doing a play.
Well, it scared the hell out of me. I didn't mind the idea. I didn't protest the notion, but I'd never been in front of an audience. I'd never done anything in front of an audience.
Tonight's Happy Days was filmed before a live audience.
All right, now this Sunday, something very special is going to happen, and some of you going to be invited.
Really, I wanted to throw up before the show. I was never so frightened in my life.
Fonz, what's up? You a little nervous, huh? You want some advice? It was just a joke.
I didn't feel like I was in control of what I was doing. I wasn't relaxed at all. I was just kind of getting through it.
This happens to be a list of the qualifications of a perfect wife. This is a biggie. Must be untried.
All right, untried.
5.
What's untried? Dummy? It means she's never been in court.
It means that she's got to be pure. She's got to be a virgin.
Virgin.
But get through it I did, and it was exciting to hear those laughs.
Don't get mad, but how can you be sure about that? Well, the number 4.
Yeah. About her being a virgin?
Yeah.
She told me. 6.
Well, couldn't she have lied?
Come here. Virgins don't lie.
Ron Howard was fantastic in front of a live audience. So they moved it inside onto stage 19, and we were now going to do it for 300 people Friday nights. It was intense, and we never looked back.
Everybody gets scared. If you're going to survive in this world, you just can't show it all the time, that's all.
Yeah, but you never get scared.
I know, that's why I'm the Fonz.
I think that the show became a big hit really when Henry's role was expanded.
I guess one of the big episodes was when Fonzie, jumped the barrels on his motorcycle. And what's so funny, if you think about it, it's beyond corny, but there was something so magical about Henry and his character. It just became the Evel Knievel of his time. I mean, there's something, people wanted heroes, and he was it.
Am I dead?
Let's get him inside.
Easy. All right. Hey.
I'm all right. It's just my leg. I'm cool. I'm always cool.
All right, fine. Go,
Let's take it inside. Come on.
Fonzie started doing things that nobody could do, snap his fingers and the world would stop or whatever.
My snap knows no age limit.
Fonzie became a full-blown character, and the live audiences at Happy Days cheered when he just walked on. He didn't say anything yet.
He got powers. He would hit the jukebox, the music would come on, or he'd hit it and would go off.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock.
Anyone would say, oh my God, come on. Well, no. Not with Happy Days and not with the Fonz. It worked.
I was in the alleyway with Richie, and I hit the side of a building.
You just... The whole building was the... How did you do that?
It's a gift.
And then being in the forest and not being able to sleep because all the animals were making noise and chattering with each other.
Cool it!
And the entire forest silent for the Fonz to go to sleep.
Let's see Tarzan do that.
It doesn't get much cooler than that.
Introducing the man who is fighting the never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way, the Fonz!
Fonzie soon became a national hero, and so the National Library Association said, could you get kids to read a little more? They won't read.
Before I knew what was happening, I was applying for my own library card and checking out my very first book.
He discovered that. How cool is this? Anybody can get a library card and go in and get a book.
You went to the library all those years and you never got a card?
No, I never thought they'd give it to a guy like me. But do you know there's a card for everybody? That's right. Everybody is allowed to read.
Registration for library cards went up 500% in America because the Fonz said that one line.
I tell you, the Fonz's work is never done.
Just the power of a man on a TV set is pretty strong if you got the right character and the right actor.
Coming up, Henry Winkler's personal home movies, our favorite bloopers and practical jokes, plus the cast reunites at Arnold's when the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion continues.
What a classic car. I think we did a kissing scene in it.
Yes, I still have a door handle impression in my back.
Well, they didn't call it Happy Days for nothing. Someone, somewhere, always seemed to be getting a little frisky.
As soon as you feel comfortable with Shirley, you say, okay, Fonz, huh? And I will peel off of Laverne up to my little penthouse.
Okay, Fonz.
Hey, he says okay, let's go, Laverne.
I was wondering if you could settle a bet that my friends and I have. We each bet $5 on what flavor lipstick you're wearing. Which is it?
Well, why don't you figure it out for yourself?
Strawberry.
You're dealing with the normal kind of dating patterns of teenage boys in high school.
Now I'm desperate. Can you set me up, Ralph?
Oh, sure. I got a great girl for you.
Who?
Her name's Marlene.
What if she has a date?
Who would date Marlene?
I fell in love and got a big crush on Potsy.
Put your head on my shoulder. Whisper in my ear.
I really personally loved doing that show. Potsy is singing in the show, and Jody loved it. And she couldn't, are you kidding? Loved it.
Put your head on my shoulder.
You know, young love, that puppy kind of love is just endearing. And the writers captured it so well.
Joni, why don't you go in the kitchen with your folks?
Yeah, well, why don't you go in there and see what they're doing? Maybe they'd like to watch television.
Richie's gonna nag. Richie's gonna nag. You guys are really
What do you want to do? Are you getting frisky? It's only Thursday.
Do you suppose that Howard and Marion were the first TV frisky couple?
Who else in the show at that time is going to have a sexual relationship? It would have to be the parents.
What are you doing home this time of day?
Well, is there anything wrong with a man coming home to his beautiful wife for lunch or whatever?
Howard, are you getting frisky?
We had one show where I did think I was losing my allure, you know, and the script says Marion comes down the stairs in a harem outfit and she does the belly dance.
Oh, that was great.
Marion!
That's it! Bit rough with me.
No, I'm not laughing at you, Floyd. Marion, will you go out and feed the camel?
I always thought it was so adorable when they would chase each other up the stairs.
You know, we were doing the same thing 20 years ago tonight.
Only then we were running.
I saw this movie, Bugsy Malone, and I said, I like that little one. He was like 10. I said, he's going to be a sexy kid, that one.
Gary said, do you want to be on Happy Days? I think it was the biggest show on television at the time. I don't even know what the heck they wanted me on the show for. And no.
Scott Baio was amazing because he came on and became this incredible sidekick.
I want you to have this.
An old mechanic's hat?
Don't you make fun of a historical monument. This is my first hat.
Oh, your first hat? Can I keep it?
Yeah.
It's the best because here he was the same age. I had someone that I could relate to.
Chachi, oh, we have a nice little souvenir for you. Joni.
Oh, Joni, just what I always wanted. Let me squirt this.
He became the younger version of Richie, and Fonzie could give him advice and then give Richie advice.
But school's a drag.
Hey, let me tell you something. You trust me. School is cool.
You say so.
I say so.
Scott became a huge heartthrob for teenage girls and sort of a younger version of Fonzie. It was like, you know, the second coming.
2 girls?
Yeah, 2 to 1. I love the odds.
Somebody said, let's do a show with these 2 kids singing. And again, I said, I don't sing. Please don't do that to me. And that's what they did.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout.
Scott started off as Fonzie's cousin and built into the new teen sensation of the show. Took over the spot. Boy, did he take over the spot.
He's getting bigger than life, and the girls are going nuts.
I mean, it was very Beatlesque in my mind, which is a really cool thing. So my experience was great. I mean, it was, it couldn't have been better.
Fonzie, sit on it.
What did I just hear?
I said we need some catchphrases. Because I asked the writers, and they sent me a list every week. And I said, sit on it's not bad, let's try that.
Oh, sit on it, Potsy.
Sit on it, Howard.
Sit on it, Fonzie. Hey!
Oh, Howard, what am I going to do with this?
Knit on it, Marion.
Gary got the idea that we could have other catchphrases.
Well, I'll tell you something, buckos.
I still got it.
I was the first one to say nerd on TV.
Gee, Potsy, you should act this nice all the time. Then people wouldn't think you're such a nerd.
You call me a nerd. I have known you all these years, Fonz. You have never, ever called me that.
But Joni, he's a nerd.
I'll take credit. The one thing I did come up with was Mr. and Mrs. C.
How
Goodbye, Mr. C. Mr. C, this is the best dinner I've ever had.
Goodbye, Mr. C. Mrs. C.
Hey, Mr. C.
Hey, Mr. C.
We used to think this is getting a little ridiculous. Now they're just reaching for, anything they can find and just trying to force it into becoming a catchphrase.
Yowza, yowza, yowza.
He's such a hunk. Cheerleaders. Wah, wah, wah.
It came from what. And I would go, what? That's where it came from.
Me and Blue Eyes. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah.
I am not going to leave Wah 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 and Blue Eyes alone.
We tried this great gimmick after a while where we put a bandana around Scott Baio's leg so everybody would copy that. Well, we looked and nobody seemed to be copying it. But to this day, I meet kids who say, I had to put that stupid red bandana on my leg because you put that in the show.
There are lots more Happy Days memories, bloopers, and clips ahead, so don't go away.
And children, don't sit too close to the TV. You'll damage your eyes.
These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
What's next?
Well, I was just thinking about all the wonderful characters we had on the show.
So true. They were unforgettable.
Chachi and I were up on Inspiration Point for hours, and all we did was talk.
Oh, you see, that's the difference between you and me, Joni. Give me a piece of beefsteak like Chachi, and he wouldn't have the strength to talk.
Wait for my brother to come, Count Malachi. Hey, Count Malachi, come on in here.
Count Malachi.
I have arrived. Let the pigeons loose.
It just became obvious that the show was doing well, and we had to come up with some new ideas, some new characters.
I got Joni and Chachi the most wonderful wedding present. The full set of Encyclopedia Americana. What'd you get him? A car. A car is not a window to knowledge.
Fonzie dated so many girls, I thought it was time he should have a girlfriend. And my family and I were driving to Palm Springs, and we had a flat tire. And I sat there, and I literally looked up, and the sign said, a Tuscadero. And I said, that could be it, Pinky Tuscadero.
Hey, Fonz! Guess who?
Hiya, Pinky.
Long time.
Yeah, a little too long.
Uh-huh. How you been?
Well, not a hair out of place.
Was there ever?
If Fonzie's going A, then Pinky's got to do something else.
Later.
Susie Quattro is a rock and roll singer that played Leather Tuscadero, Phoebe Tuscadero's sister.
Hey, gang!
She sang a couple of songs in some of the episodes, and she made a real strong impression.
My favorite episodes was dancing the tango with the Fonz. We had a dance contest. Howard wouldn't go with me, so the Fonz did.
Hey! My favorite episode of all time is the one where Ron, Anson, and Donnie go to the mountains and they tell these women that they're Tunisian camel jockeys.
What do you and your friends do in Tunisia?
Jockeys. Mock.
Yes, we race camels, we jockeys, yes. Yes.
And it's maybe one of the funniest television episodes of any show ever.
Marcia, Linda, and I were wondering if you guys would like to make out. I guess they don't understand.
Oh, understand.
Yes.
Mock.
He's so cute.
Mock.
In New York, growing up, I taught myself the Kazatsky, and I mentioned that to the writers at one time, and they wrote it in. Gary Marshall is unabashedly, unequivocally a genius. That's just it.
Gary had a way of picking unbelievably talented people to surround himself with, and he being maybe the most talented.
He was just so clever and so energizing.
Because of Gary Marshall's inspiration, I've been involved in a lot of different entrepreneurial ventures. I was able to create a music career, get behind the camera as a director, even retail now with Star Maker products. We get these fantastic products used on Hollywood sets to everybody. I owe it all to Gary Marshall and Happy Days.
Gary is a natural teacher. He knew from the beginning my dream was to be a filmmaker, and he was supportive of the idea, as was everyone. Happy Days was a tremendous learning experience for me. No question.
I'm gonna teach you the secret of being tough.
Wow, you don't think I could ever learn
Hey, who
that?
told you to talk?
I'm sorry, Fonz.
That's the secret.
People talk to me today in the year 2005 about Happy Days. They watched with their grandmother, they watched with their children. They grew up on it, they learned English from it.
Would you just say goodbye in another language?
Oh, sure. Adios, amigos.
When it came out, the people who'd been raised in the 50s now had kids who were 10 to 15 years old. And it became one of the things people looked forward to was Tuesday night, we're all gonna watch the show. And it's kept it going in reruns.
Do you live at home?
No, I'm in the dorms. What about you?
I live in a house.
Who's Phi Delta?
No,
Alpha Tau Omega?
no, Mama, Papa, sister.
The show was loved around the world because of something that went beyond the words. Even through the humor, there was heart.
I think that's one of the reasons the show has proven to be so timeless, is because it was, it was timeless when we made it.
When we return, the fun continues with Henry Winkler's exclusive home movies and our funniest bloopers.
Aren't you worried about the Malachi Bretchers?
Plus, the cast reunites at Arnold's. All this and more on the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion.
Why didn't I ever take pictures of our lovely house?
You didn't want to spend a buck for a camera. Not you, Tom, I mean Mr. C. Fortunately, we had Henry Winkler, who took a lot of home movies.
While we suit up for the big reunion softball game, here's some very special behind-the-scenes memories.
Get up here, get up here. What's this rope for?
You hold on to that.
I knew that. All right, open the chute.
Yeah!
I took home movies of every aspect of the show over the 11 years because I just never wanted to forget who was around and what we did and what it looked like and what it felt like.
Action!
Anyone who came on the set was welcome. There was no egos, there was no pressure. So it was very nice, very easy. A lot of fun, always a good time. Good place to be.
The show could not have been as successful as it was without each person being great at what they did. It was a team effort. And Gary thought it was really important that the family that works together should play together.
Let's talk baseball.
So he started the softball team.
Television and showbiz has a lot of stress, so you got to get distractions, and softball was a great distraction.
We had some great athletes on our softball team, except Henry. Henry never played softball.
I've never played ball in my life. I have no eye-hand coordination, so I couldn't hit, I couldn't catch, for sure. Certainly I didn't know what pitching was. Ron Howard bought me a mitt. Anson bought me a bat, and they taught me to pitch on the Soundstage 19 on Paramount Lot, and I became the pitcher for the Happy Days ball team.
And now here's our pitcher, Henry Winkler, the Fonz.
We would go to 2 or 3 major league parks a year, and we'd have these road trips. And they were just thrilling. And I get emotional thinking about it. It was just one of the great experiences of my life, these road trips we'd go on.
Okay, we're gonna go to the hotel now. into our uniforms, and at 4:45, the bus will pick us up at the hotel.
We have a new member of the cast to join us for the first time in a little baseball gig. Kathy Silver, ladies and gentlemen.
Those games were fantastic. I mean, we played in front of 40,000 people at Shea Stadium. And that's, you know, to play softball, to play baseball without a backstop behind you, it's cool stuff.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a fun day here at Shea. We are delighted that the Happy Days crowd has flown from California with their softball team.
Marion Ross became a very good player. She got a hit one game. I sent her flowers. She did 11 years of acting. I never sent her anything. But she got one hit in the softball game. I sent her flowers.
To Marion beer fight, Ross. By getting on base and allowing a pinch runner, you once again started a run, scoring rally that won the game. You're the ball player's ball player.
We played in about 6, 7 different stadiums, and that was like a dream come true for me and Ron, because, I mean, I was a huge baseball fan. Before the game, I'm out in the outfield shagging flies with some of the real ball players, doing batting practice. That was it for me. You couldn't beat that.
We'd go into these cities and be treated like kings. It was just incredible.
And then the USO called, and we went to Germany. And flew all over Germany and met the troops wherever they were.
It was great. It was really, really fun.
Jeez, it's not so hard, I can't get it on.
Wonderful experiences. We'd get in big Black Hawk helicopters and travel from base to base. We went to the East German border and played with the 3rd Infantry.
We beat them. Yeah, we were over there trying to boost morale, but we kicked a little ass.
We're winning, and it's exciting to come all the way and win the first game, huh?
When we were in Okinawa, we beat the Marines, we beat the Navy, we beat the Army, beat the Air Force, and the Marines were so upset they wanted another game, and they flew in ringers from Tokyo, and we beat them worse.
9-3. Henry Winkler pitched like a banshee.
It was very serious, and it was about winning, just like the real teams. And if Erin didn't catch that fly, get her out of here, get her out of it. And that happened.
It became a real bonding. I remember we played in this league, a show league, where you'd have double headers, you know, every Sunday. And God, I just so looked forward to that. And I miss it to this day as I'm talking about it.
We are so excited about our reunion softball game. First of all, we don't see each other very often. So to have everybody together is just going to be wonderful.
I'm going to be the announcer, call the game, which will be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the game, but I just hope it doesn't hurt.
Coming up, highlights from our 30th anniversary softball game, a cast reunion at Arnold's, and some never-before-seen bloopers.
How about I found my thrill?
Oh, who gives a
When the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion returns.
Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday.
Welcome to the Happy Days 30th anniversary softball game. Let's meet the teams. Cunningham Hardware, Ron Howard, Gary Marshall, Marion Ross, Aaron Moran, Don Most, Count Malachi, Michael Pataki, Fonzie's cousin Spike, Danny Butch, supporting actor Scott Marshall, Arnold's Drive-In, Anson Williams, Laurie Beth Cunningham, Linda Goodfriend, Rocco Malachi, Ken Lerner, the Cunningham cousin, Roger Phillips, Ted McGinley, supporting actor Clint Howard, Ashley Pfister, Linda Pearl, Jenny Piccolo, Kathy Silver, producer, writer Fred Fox Jr., and the Fonz, Henry Winkler, and our honorary ump, Carmine Ragusa, Eddie Mecca. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest players from Laverne and Shirley, Penny Marshall and Cindy Williams. Let's play ball. Leading off for Arnold's is Henry Winkler. And he smacks one into short rover. It's a base hit.
It's really exciting, great honor to see all these people here after all these years, and we're still having fun, and we started playing ball, we're still playing ball.
Come on, Mr. Marshall, be nice.
Okay, Ted, here you go. Nice and high.
And it's a long fly ball into left field. It's caught by Ron. Henry scores. Here is another Howard. This is Clint. And he hits it to his brother. Well, why not? They practiced a lot in the backyard. And here comes Cindy Williams at the plate. And she... Oh!
Happy Days means everything in the world to me. It jump-started my career. It's so good to see everybody here today. It's like old home week.
Here he is. It's Ron Howard.
You feel good? I feel good. I'm ready to run. You want it? Yeah, give it to me, baby.
Ron pops out to Fox.
Sad shadow of my former self.
Looks like we have a Jenny Piccolo fan in the stands. Oh, wait, it is Jenny Piccolo. All right, here's the boss, Gary Marshall. There's a pop fly. Oh, third baseman Ken Lerner makes a nice catch.
I went to the batting cage one day and just to get the batting eye back in gear. Felt okay, but we'll see.
But you're a great athlete. You know, you couldn't be in the cast of Happy Days or write for Happy Days if you couldn't hit.
All right, here's Donnie Most. Oops, Don strikes out. I wouldn't want to sit next to him on the way home.
Those are high, man. Those are high. Money talks, buddy. I'll get you a good... I'll take care of him. I'll give him a good pitch to hit.
I think there's a base hit in you, Louisville Slugger. Let's just hope. Directing Apollo 13, filming Weightless, that was really good. And playing softball with Happy Days at Wrigley Field is kind of a very similar kind of feeling.
It's Ron Howard.
Okay, ladies.
There's one into center field for a base hit. One run scores, second run scores.
Thanks for the pitch.
It doesn't get any better than this. 2 outs in the top of the last inning with the tying run on third and the go-ahead run on second. Scott Marshall steps up to the plate. It's a line drive to left, and it is caught. And that's it, everybody. A great catch by Ted McGinley. And Arnold's wins the ball game by a score of 5-4. A game-saving catch.
No, you were addicted. Your motion was fluid. I never thought I was a fluid pitcher.
It's so wonderful that everybody said yes.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful that we're all here.
Yeah, our dreams come true.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Cruising all week with you. These days are ours.
Up next, the Happy Days cast reunites at Arnold's for some more great memories, exclusive practical jokes, and some very special surprise guests when the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion continues.
Happy days.
Isn't this wonderful? We're back at Arnold. Brings back so many memories. Well, what really would bring back these memories and make it alive is the actors who are here. This is one of the families in my lifetime that I treasure very, very much. The cast of Happy Days, ladies and gentlemen. And we just finished this great softball game in which Henry outpitched me. He was the winner. Cunningham Hardware played the Arnold's team. But this is Arnold's now, where we're live here. Look how far away you're sitting. You're in the reunion of Charles in Charge. It's a whole other reunion show. Come over here. We have something special. If you look, we put together an homage. Homage means a lot of film clips that salute the days of Arnold's. Let's take a look.
You believe this? This is Arnold's. I've been waiting all my life to come here. I can't. This is Arnold's.
We're sophomores now, Rich. We're entitled. Man, oh man, we got it made in the shade. Hey.
she comes. Be cool, right?
Come on, honey. I don't have all day.
Watch this.
Miss. Miss? Miss? Oh, I quit!
Wait a minute, Arnold. The paper said Mitsuma Takahashi is giving the class.
I am Mitsumo Takahashi. Is this the face of Arnold?
Why'd you change your name?
What change? I buy a restaurant, had a big sign, Arnold's. Sign's very expensive. You know how many letters in Takahashi?
We got the first challenge dance of the evening.
Baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake. Shake it, baby, shake it. Shake, baby, shake. Come on, baby. Oh, lot of shaking going on.
There you go. Those bring back a few memories. But you know, people sometimes used to come after the show and they would take some of these things as souvenirs. The one pennant that I still have from Northwestern.
From Northwestern.
That's where Richie went
journalism
to school. Journalism school. We will hang it up later.
You know, right outside the entrance, there's a ledge. And this ledge would be out there, and we would put our coffee cups down. And I wrote on this ledge, like here it says, Ron found out he was going to be a father today, August 31st, 1979. I found out I was going to be a father today, 9/15/1979.
Wow.
And here it says, Arnold's is being burned down this Friday, November 30th.
Better take the ledge.
1979, and that is the show that we shot to burn down Arnold's.
Yes, it was either have a wedding or burn down something. That's what you do in Sweeps Week. You try to get a rating. So we had to burn down. One of us in this room caused it to burn down.
Yes.
Should we name names or we don't know?
Yeah, just point your finger.
I didn't write it. But we're not mad at you. We like you. Oh, happy days always had hugging. Oh. Let's see the proof of this burning down.
Hey, Church, you want to walk me home?
Every step of the way.
Weren't you supposed to do something before you left?
Yeah, lock up. Other Fonzie's here. He'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
There's
a fire out there! What are you talking about? There is a fire out there!
Look!
Holy moly.
I'm sorry, I gotta get out.
Oh,
Hey, look, there's an outside wall. I wonder what it's made of.
Concrete.
Help me change this, will you?
Right.
All right.
You got it?
I guess everything's all right.
Yeah. Except for Arnold's.
We were all kept backstage in between acts, and we were forbidden to come anywhere near the set. So we didn't see it until the next act opened, and we all came on at the same time. And boy, I still get a lot.
Yeah.
It was really like the place had been destroyed, and I thought the series was over with.
The one reason we were so emotional about the whole situation was it was more than a set. During rehearsal, that's where we'd sit down and discuss our lives.
I can't believe that. Arnold's. A booth. In this booth, Fonzie taught us a lot in this booth.
He was just getting to the good stuff.
The man trusted you. What'd you do, send your brain on vacation?
Fonz, it was an accident.
No, accidents just happen. This is your fault. You caused this. Irresponsibility.
I'm sorry.
But it all worked out. But still, we did make those mistakes. I think we have a few mistakes. You want to see some of the mistakes you made?
Some of those.
If you don't like them, turn your head.
Okay.
Happy Days cast in bloopers.
Happy Days won't be seen tonight. Arnold, tell them why.
Oh, sure.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
terrible dream.
Me too.
I dreamt I was in show business. Happy Days.
Let's sing. Oh, how about I Found My Thrill?
Oh, who gives
You want to dance first or go right out to the heavy stuff? Go right out to the heavy stuff.
How do you feel? I gotta take a...
We were doing the same thing 20 years ago tonight.
Did you sneeze then?
No, but
Aren't you worried about the Malachi Bretchers? The Malachi Bretchers?
Oh, Howard, they could play at the annual Leopard Lodge Poopa Doo-Doo.
He tried to send Elaine home. No, I did it again. It's Eileen. Okay, here we go. Take it from second place. I get so confused with so many.
You remember the girl with the motorcycle, all dressed in pink? Pinky Putz.
He tried to send Elaine home. I did it again.
I wanted to watch the fight, but I don't know my next line.
You'll be eating it we'll be eating it, I haven't got the slightest idea.
We'll be right back with more Happy Days Cast Reunion.
Coming up, our funniest practical jokes, some very special surprise guests, and the most talked about moment in Happy Days history.
Fonzie's gonna jump over a shark.
When the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion continues.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here at Arnold's celebrating our Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion, and we got questions from the audience. Did you see the questions?
No, I
They're
didn't
printed out rather nicely.
Wow.
These audience people have little computers. It's very good. One of the questions here is for you, Donnie Post. Where did you pick up your signature line, "I've still got it"? Didn't he say
That's a great question, because I have to attribute that to a man that we all love dearly and who's smiling at us right now, and that's Jerry Paris, who directed the bulk of the shows. And Jerry had an incredible personality. He used to have this saying, and then he said, "You should say it in this episode," and it was, "I still got it." And that was Jerry's.
I still got it, baby.
I still got it. So even 30 years later, I still got it.
Okay, another question is, this is a fan asks, I'm going to sit a minute because my feet are hurting. This fan asks, how many shows did Happy Days spin off? We had an episode where Fonzie and Richie met some girls from the other side of the tracks, you know, girls who weren't so classy. And the first one, I thought it was my sister Penny. She does that so well. Penny comes from the Bronx, New York, like I, and her friend Sidney Williams, and they came on, and there they were. They became Laverne and Shirley.
Hey, Fonzie!
Hey, the Fazio, they're here. All right. Laverne, this is Laverne DeFazio, she's mine. And this is Shirley Feeney, she's yours, as you can see.
Nice to meet you, Richie.
My pleasure.
Hey, they're getting along pretty well, huh? Hey, planet here, girls, planet here. Would you like to sit down?
Staring? How'd you like your eyes closed for good, huh?
You're too much, Laverne.
So, Cheryl, what do you think of this kid? You've been with worse.
Oh, he's nice. And a tie, too.
And a hanky. Is that for showing or for blowing? I'm ready, Fonz.
What about Shirley?
She's putting on her makeup.
How come?
Because I held her face under the sink.
Hey, listen, tell me the truth. Why did you and Laverne get into that fight anyway?
Well, when Laverne and I went into the ladies' room, I walked up to her and I said, "Sweet as you please, Laverne, you have a mouth like a sewer," which she does. And she said, "A sewer?" And I said, "Yeah, a sewer." So she curled up her chubby little hand and... Oh! Are you all right? Oh, Richie, I'm so sorry. Oh, dear. Oh, here, let me kiss a boo-boo.
Reggie, we're home.
This was a cast of actors who were very secure. If you bring a new actor on the show, they say, why is he getting all the funny lines? Or why is she getting? Why don't I get that? These people never did that. They met Laverne and Shirley, they said, you know they're funny. And then Robin Williams came on, and we all looked and said, this guy, look at this. He's a genius.
That might have been the most difficult week that I ever did, because your whole job was not to laugh. And he never did anything twice the same, so you could never get used to it.
Wait a minute, who are you?
I am Mark from Mark.
Won't you make yourself comfortable?
Oh, thank you.
You want to rumble?
Let us make it official. We must introduce the local celebrities. Uncle.
Yeah.
Now I must leave your planet Earth, but I trip my Kripla to you, sir.
So, anyway, he was just one of the many wonderful spin-offs. Let's look at the Happy Days family tree and who came from that tree.
Look at this, an indoor statue. Oh, look at this chair. Oh, the arms are little lion's paws. I can't believe it. Oh, you gotta sit in this chair, really. It's just so nice. It's so comfortable. It's so pretty. It's not mine, it's Nana's.
A formal introduction is at hand. Get down. I am Mark from Mark. Nanu nanu.
I'm Mindy McConnell.
We got it all together now, gang. The Fonz. His doggy name is Mr. Cool and the Good Group. One flaky time machine and a future chick named Cupcake. Hey.
Something magic in the way you hold me in your eyes.
No one ever warned me love just takes you by surprise. I don't know what's come over me. You got me hypnotized when you look at me. Look at me and suddenly I'm captured in your eyes. You
There's more when we return. Oh, and the Happy Days 30th Annual Reunion.
When we return, our exclusive practical jokes. Plus, the cast remembers the show's most emotional moments. When the Happy Days 30th Anniversary Reunion continues.
Back, everybody. We're here at Arnold celebrating our Happy Days 30th Anniversary
Reunion.
Thank you. You know, we did do a lot of serious stuff, and one of the most moving experience I had in the show is this group in Massachusetts called and said, we have abused children here, and it's hard to get through to them because they have no emotion. They never cry. But the one thing we noticed, they all love Happy Days because they love Fonzie because he never, ever cries. And this episode was designed where Richie almost died. It was all designed for that group. And the result was those kids watched, and then the counselors could talk to them about tears are not a bad thing. So that was, to me, one of the most
awesome
highlights of the series. Let's take a look.
How is he? Well, he's
Not very good, Fonzie, but there is a chance.
Is there anything I could do?
Nothing.
Sir, gotta have a little chat here. It's my best friend, Richie. He's in really bad shape. Yeah, I know you know that. But the world is kind of going a little wacko, you know, and you think you need people down here like him. And if you don't, I do. I can fix a lot of things, but this one is all yours. So let's make a little deal. You do this for me, and I'll owe you one.
Well, Arthur, you just go home now and get some sleep.
Yeah, Marion's right.
Yeah, you're both right, but I ain't going.
You're not going to do yourself any good by staying
There, you
here.
can go and get some rest.
Come on now.
Just
Quiet down. You're giving me a headache.
Quiet, Richard, and don't interrupt your father.
Thank you, Marion. Look, fine.
Richard.
Richard?
Oh, Richard,
You're okay.
Is Lori Beth all right?
Oh, she's fine, just fine.
Oh, good.
All right, let him.
You'll live to do another episode, which we were going to. You did very well, by the way.
Yeah,
It was a very nice scene. Let's hear it for Henry. We did have other moments. We had writers of all ages on the show. I had young kids coming up, 18 out of college, and I had writers who were over 70. So I would bunch them all together so they'd learn something, you know, from each other. But they wrote some serious things, too. We had some serious shows. Let's take a look at some of these moments that were a little more serious than others, and all part of the makeup of Happy Days.
All the harebrained, irresponsible things. I've got to be in a meeting in a half an hour, and I don't have any dinner, and I've got a limp fez.
Marion, do this. Marion, do that. You want your dinner? I'll get your dinner. You got it. I'll get your dinner 1,000 times. I can do it with my eyes closed. Here is your salad, your vegetable, the meat. Let it up!
Look, would it help if I said I wouldn't look at any other girls?
Yes.
Fine, then I won't look at any other girls.
You're lying.
Yes, I am. I have to be crazy to say that. Everybody looks at a pretty girl, Joni.
Yeah.
Just tell me what I have to do to get us back together again.
You don't want to say anything, we won't talk. Then we'll go home. You know why? Because there are a lot of people worried about you.
I'll leave when I damn well feel like leaving.
Good plan. Good plan. Except something in my soul tells me that you want to leave right now. So, Richie, put the beer down and let's go home, okay?
I wrote this to you this morning because I knew that when we were face to face like this that, well, I might not be able to find the words. How do you thank somebody who's been everything to you? Your brother, your protector. You delivered my own child. I just don't know how I could ever say that.
I think you just did.
Very much.
Very good. You see, we were serious. We had that music sneaking in all the time. And I think a lot of the times, you know, when we had some serious shows or something, we would kid around on the set, and that would kind of lighten us up.
I don't know if this is a practical joke. It's just, maybe I was just annoying. When Henry was on stage once in a while, I would stand in the bathroom here
or behind this sort of grill work over there with spitballs. This was during the actual show, by the way. And I would unload on Henry. And I knew like 3 or 4 lines before the scene was over, and I was gone. I ran out the stage door because he would kill me.
We managed to embarrass each other constantly. How about some practical jokes that maybe I can remember?
You sweet, Arthur.
Yeah.
How come Richie doesn't have to go?
Because he's older than you and he can take care of himself.
Well, every time we leave him alone, he locks himself out of the house.
I don't lock myself out.
Yes, you do.
Oh, never mind, dear. Here's some cookies for you. Just for the trip, so you won't get cranky.
Well, they're all crushed.
I know. Every time I go to the supermarket, some old man knocks my cart over.
Well, don't go to that market.
I won't. I just hate that store. I heard this morning
Now let's play the scene.
Eat your heart out.
There were moments we thought that we were on cable. We were having a time. There's more when we return.
Up next, we surprise the cast with 2 very special guests. Plus, a Happy Days urban legend is finally laid to rest.
There he goes!
When the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion continues.
We're celebrating the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion. Then we got questions coming up, and we got one for Scott Baio. What were the perks and problems of being a teenage heartthrob?
I don't really think there was a downside.
The problem always was, did these young ladies like me for me, or they
I didn't care.
You didn't care why they liked you?
How old were you when you came to the show?
I think I was 15.
The thing is that Ron decided to go on to be a director, and then Scott had to step up and kind of fill the position, and he hit a home run every time.
My cousin don't cheat.
I don't need your stinking job. I've been doing all right without it. Without you, without school, without anybody. And I'll tell you something else, Fonzarelli. I don't need your stupid cat.
Stupid cat? Stupid cat? It's a very good thing that I don't got a bad temper.
We have a question here for you.
All right.
Because you literally grew up on Happy Days.
Oh, yeah.
But before you answer the question, let's all look at why we all love Joni Shortcake Cunningham.
Gee, Scarsdale's gonna tell us where babies come from. She's got a book with pictures and everything.
You sit right down. I will drive you to school. If this Spike tries to put his arm around you in the movie theater, you just tell him that you are not that kind of a girl.
Hey, this is my sex talk.
Yes.
Why can't you treat me like a grown-up?
You're absolutely right, dear. Get somebody to help you cross the street.
Hey, Mom, can we have another talk about boys?
I think you should get a man's point of view this time.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I'll talk to Fonzie tomorrow.
For every action a man's got, you got a counteraction. You dig it?
Why?
What?
Hey, Blue Eyes. I'm delivering a kissogram for Joni Cunningham.
Stamp it and return to sender.
Ah, Snow White, you're a vision of loveliness.
Well, well, the 8th dwarf, pushy.
This is your last chance. You're gonna go out with me?
Maybe.
I'll
guess what? I got a maybe.
Chachi and I have finally done something that we've wanted to do for a long time, and I hope you approve.
Will you marry me?
Oh, Chach.
Oh, Chach, what?
Oh, Chach, yes! You are perfect.
Sweetheart, I have never seen you look more beautiful.
I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
So, how was that? Was that a flood of memories?
Oh, yeah. The best thing about it is that when I am approached by most people, I get, I grew up with you. You're like my own daughter. It's wonderful.
You are a great growing up child, and we're glad you're still with us at the reunion. But let me ask Anson a question. You know what, Anson?
What? Yes.
You sang quite a bit on Happy Days.
I tried, yes.
The right atrium's where the process begins, where the CO2 blood enters the heart. Through the tricuspid valve to the right ventricle, the pulmonary artery and lungs. Once inside the lungs, it dumps its carbon dioxide and picks up its oxygen supply. Then it's back to the heart, through the pulmonary vein, through the atrium and left ventricle.
So the question was, how is it going? You're still singing as much as you do. I know you're a great director. A wonderful director. Directs so many shows. Directed me.
That's
in
right,
the show.
Sabrina.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
That's right.
I was there, and he was saying, Gary, move over.
Yeah, come on, get in the true shot, Nick. Get over, come on. You always taught me. From day one, you said, wear as many hats as you can.
It's a fickle business.
No, he said, and Anson, I've seen your acting, wear 5 hats. No, he encouraged us, so I've been, basically directing, producing.
Sing, act, do it all. That's the kind of business. You got to do it all.
That's true. That's true.
But you know who's doing it pretty well? Him.
He's okay.
He's all right. Yeah. There's a question for you. Okay. Since 1974, you have not taken that hat off. Stupid question. Here's the question. How Happy Days influenced your career?
In a lot of ways. I mean, first of all, I learned another kind of comedy. You know, as a kid growing up, did the Andy Griffith Show. It was kind of a mellow sort of humor.
A lot of whistling.
Quite a bit of whistling. Jerry Paris directing us at this, this incredible tempo. When I did go and I started directing, I was prepared for that kind of problem solving.
There must have been hard moments when you were stressed out and you wanted to do something.
So many moments like that.
I mean, I go play softball. What do you do when you get...
I will admit there have been times when I don't sing it out loud, but I'll hum.
Hum? What?
I found my thrill. And there's always Blueberry Hill. That's a catchy tune. I found my thrill.
That's my trademark.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill.
Now, isn't this better than a car?
You better believe it.
I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. I found my thrill.
Johnny on Blueberry Hill. We're
welcomes not one, but 2 surprise guests. And the legendary moment you've all been waiting for. The Fonz jumps the shark.
Shark? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
When the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion returns.
Welcome back. We're reminiscing here with our Happy Days cast, and we're talking about the old days, and I'm reminiscing about all our writers, Bob Brunner, Lowell Gans, Mark Rothman, Babaloo Mandel, Brian Levant, and all those guys combined came up with the question the audience just asked. What is the story about jumping the shark? We all know jumping the shark is now a phrase in all of our television lore. Before we answer, let's take a look at this particular little moment that became an urban legend.
Rich, come quick.
What, is there something wrong?
It's a shark. The Fonz.
Fonz got eaten by a shark?
He did? Who said that? Not me. What are you talking about, Ray? You just said the shark. Listen, Fonz is going to jump over a shark.
Shark? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Stupid, yes. Also dumb, but it's something I gotta do.
Fonz, you're not jumping over garbage cans on a bike. You're jumping over a shark. On nothing, on a couple of little skis. One little slip and chomp, chomp, chomp.
Not for your support. Look, I was challenged. I gotta jump.
Ready to make the jump. There he goes.
Explain what it is? Jumping the shark is the phrase that they use when a show does an episode which puts the show downhill and it's going to be canceled soon.
Right, it's gone too far.
Too far. It's called the Jumping the Shark episode, named after our little Jumping the Shark. But we must say proudly, after our Jumping the Shark episode, we ran 100 more episodes, so we didn't jump too badly. All right, Mr. Bosley Tom. You were recently voted by TV Guide as one of the television's 10 top fathers in the history of television. This man right here.
You know, people used to say to me, how are you such a good father at home? And I would say, look, on the show, the words are written for me. When I'm home, it's ad-lib 24 hours a day. But here, it was all written, but the feeling was there.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. The next question is for you, Marion. It's the most asked questions about the Happy Days series. When the series began, you had another son. You had an older son. His name was Chuck. Oh, yes. Look at this a moment. See if this kind of jogs your memory and see 2 Chucks.
Why is it that this family just can't sit together for 5 minutes after dinner and talk? Huh?
Dad, I gotta practice. See, I'm changing my free throw from an underhand to an overhand. Looks better for the fans.
Oh, well, then you're excused, Chuck. I certainly wouldn't want to disappoint your fans. Night, Chuck.
I'm sleeping on the couch?
No, in the couch. It's one of those fold-out beds. It's where my old room used to sack out.
Oh. Well, I guess that'd be all right. Yeah. Oh.
Hey, there it is. Well, clean your little heart out.
Aren't you gonna help me?
Well, the best way I can help you is just to stay out of your way. Later, little brother.
Mom! I'm home! Listen!
Hey, Dad, can I borrow the car?
Here they are! These are the actors who played Cunningham.
Oh, no.
We found your sons, would you believe it? How you been?
They're great.
Well, it's 30 years. It was short, but I feel like I'm coming home.
Well, we love these family reunions, and we're very glad the two Chucks came back because you know what you're in time for? Another break. As we continue the Happy Days 30th reunion.
Don't go away. There are more great moments ahead and another surprise guest when the Happy Days 30th anniversary reunion continues.
We are back again, and we're winding down because, you know, these chairs are rented. So we're going to move along. And the question that
Can I say one thing before we do this? You know, you're watching Gary, and he's really funny, and that's why this show was as funny as it was. No,
Hey, wait a minute! How about we just have some beautiful birthday cake? Happy anniversary, everybody!
Here is to 30 golden years. Happy anniversary, everybody.
Memories rest between the pages of my mind. Memories sweeten through the ages just like wine. Quiet thoughts come floating down and settle softly to the ground like gold of autumn leaves around my feet. I touch them and they burst apart with sweet memories. Sweet memories of holding hands and red bouquets and twilights trimmed in purple haze and laughing eyes and simple ways and quiet nights and gentle days with you. Memories pressed between the pages of my mind. Memories sweeten through the ages just like
I guess when you reach a milestone like this, you have to reflect back on what you've done and on what you've accomplished. Marion and I have not climbed Mount Everest or written a great American novel, but we've had the joy of raising two wonderful kids, and I guess no man or woman could ask for anything more. So thank you all for being part of our family. To Happy Days.
I am so glad that we shared this party together.
And I wouldn't have missed it for the world, and I want to thank all of you for sharing with us what's been an incredible day. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Oh, wait a minute. Henry, come on. For old time's sake.
Are you kidding?
Come on, do it.
Proven innocent after 10 years.